world today, such a strange and amusing place. One day you buy a rocket ship underpants, and then the next they're in outer space. Mama, don't you know that you're the only reason? Little dreamers everywhere have something to believe in. Mama, don't you know you keep the whole world turning round?
Hey everybody, this is Gretchen and Paige
From mommycast.com.
and we are on the very cool set of the Imagination Movers, Playhouse Disney's newest show. And we're speaking with Rich and Scott.
Hello there.
Welcome to MommyCast.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And you're not in your usual outfits.
No.
They're the movers. They're usually in movers.
Movers
And
outfits.
blue
Jumpsuits.
Yes.
Imagination movers, you gotta think about it. I think what the situation needs is some imagination.
Tell us what you're doing on the set today, and so at least everybody understands.
We're doing an episode about a safari into our jungle room inside the warehouse. So we're on a treasure hunt, and we were told to put on our best jungle clothes, and
I got the.
This is how we interpret
my
it.
character is
Yeah.
very naive and takes things literally, and is kind of like looks at the world from a seven-year-old's point of view, and so any adventurous boy would want to be Tarzan. So
Right.
it's kind of.
so it's kind of like
Tarzan-esque.
Abbott and Costello and George of the Jungle
That's right.
all traipsing through our jungle room right now.
We're just kind of interrupting the day a little bit, but we
Hey.
wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you got started. Whose idea was this?
This whole thing began in Scott's living room one day when at his son's 2-year-old birthday party, and when he said, "Hey guys, let's dream up an idea for a children's television show that would combine the spirit of live action shows like Mr. Rogers or Captain Kangaroo with the rock and roll energy of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Beastie Boys, all these musical influences that we all shared."
Well, I know that that's a train of thought that we have every day in our living room, so
Right.
Here's a recipe for the kids in the world. No butter, sugar, salt, treat your boys and girls. It's a remedy for a boring situation. Stir it up, use your imagination.
something must
Well, I
have
think-
led you to this.
Part of it is, we've been friends for a long time, and there's really 1 degree of separation from all of us. So when we started having families, you're inundated with children's television, and at that moment in time, it was either puppets or cartoons, and there was very little live people anymore.
Say please and thank you, they're the magic words.
And I started waxing about just the amount of integrity and sincerity that like Fred Rogers had and what he conveyed on television and what that meant for his audience, and lamented the fact that that didn't exist anymore. And then I just said, hey guys, Rich, Dave, Smitty, it just kind of fell, almost providential, and we started coming up with this idea.
We sat down and had that conversation, and then we scheduled another get together. It was always after the kids were in bed, so usually our office hours were 9:30 to midnight or something at
Right.
one of our houses. And then we just kept doing little things every day, every week, every month for years. And that, in combination with the fact that we were incredibly lucky to find out that people really appreciated what we were doing.
Tell us a little bit about the music, how you would describe it and where the origins of it came from. I mean, you have a distinct sound, clearly, and it seems like you have a real mission with the music.
Well, I mean, I think our music sounds like all the music that we love. From when we were all teenagers to now, we're all incredibly, we all have antennas up for music. And in my case, I'm probably the pop music person, scanning the dials for that kind of stuff. Smitty's, goes into like alternative music and, like Americana and country roots. Scott Durbin is the same thing as Smitty, but then with maybe going more toward hip hop.
People out there who collect everything from baseball cards to diamond rings.
What we hope to do is make music that you'd hear on the radio,
Right.
but then it's made relevant to families and to little kids.
Right.
It's like the issues and the practical kind of realities of life if you're 5, or if
Yeah.
you're a grown up living with someone who's
Reality
5.
of
Yeah.
life when you're
Hey
5.
man, you're
Yeah.
sharing with your sister, all these kind of things,
We're working hard and we're having fun. We celebrate when the day is done. It's one for all and all for one. Come on!
Well, I want to ask you guys about your professional backgrounds. Rich, you're a journalist.
Right.
Scott, you're a teacher. How have you brought your talents in those areas to the movers?
Everything that we've always wanted to do, we wanted it to make to essentially be meaningful, whether it to be and be a shared experience, so that it's meaningful for parents and their children.
It's 8:30 and it's time for bed. I've got my PJs Mommy's on and I'm hanging on to teddy bear.
And so a lot of our early work, I went out of my way personally as an educator to make sure that our stuff was research-based, age-appropriate, developmentally appropriate. We sought out experts like clinical psychologists. We did everything you could imagine.
I think also Scott's life as a teacher for a decade, an award-winning teacher. It also gives him a real easy way with kids. All of us are goofballs with our own kids and are just used to doing that. But you have a kind of a special skill that you developed having to wrangle 25 kids
So
every day.
It's a special talent.
Keeping them interested, keeping them on toes, understanding the rhythm of it when we do a live concert. How long do you play? Hey, when you're losing them, what do you do to get them back?
Yeah.
All those things. Like, we're having fun, and I think a key part of the show is that we understand. You can feel the energy, and you understand what you have to do for this audience.
All the parts fit, Rich was a journalist, and so he had the experience of really how do you spread the word and what do you need to do to take it from here to there. For the last 6 years now, and really for the last 2 or 3 in particular, we've been around each other all the time.
Yeah.
And
So you still like each other?
we still like each other.
That's the thing. It's like when you have all these different talents coming together, you have to learn to appreciate the talents and not resent the fact that this person's not like you.
Right.
Well,
We're all different
that's what
people.
makes
We're
it
all
successful.
different strengths and weaknesses. Of course, we're friends. We're friendly rivals, and probably we encourage each other to do our best.
So tell us a little bit about what your hopes and expectations are for the future of the Imagination Movers.
Rich,
Well-
you take first bat.
Obviously, we're a rock band, and what we hope to do is go out soon to all the cities, find a bunch of fans of the show, and put on a rock concert that captures the spirit of a Van Halen 1979 world tour with all the lights and spectacle and rock and roll theatrics, but make it all appropriate for little kids. So it's not too loud, not too scary, a lot of fun for the kids and the parents.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Basically, it's going to be the coolest thing ever.
Ever.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think probably, at the end of the day, when we can look in the mirror and say what we created and what we've done from that day forward has been meaningful to people, that's always you can't ask for anything better.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're busy and you have to get back to filming, so we're gonna
Back to the jungle room.
That's
back
right.
to the jungle room. Yeah.
For more information on the Imagination Movers and Playhouse Disney, go to our website.
Mommycast.com.
Don't you know you keep the whole world turning round? Mama, don't you know you keep the whole world turning round?
We either knew each other's wives growing up or, Smitty and I went to high school.
Oh, did you know my wife? No.
He took my wife to the prom.
I took her to the junior prom. That was everybody's safe date.
Like last month he did this. It was very embarrassing.